what's common between a dropout, a website developer, a world record, a crazy Deepika Padukone fan, and an entrepreneur? Any idea? For me, it's passion, passion, and passion. Passion to not to stop, passion to do the best in what you got, passion to keep trying. Let me connect the dots for you. Hello everyone. Kem Chow. Vanakkam. I am Mohit Jain from Chennai. I was born and brought up in a city which is a place you all wish to go, Pondicherry. I was dropped out of the school as ninth being my highest qualification. There are lots of professor years, but still, let me tell you a secret. I got depromoted from ninth not only once but twice. Well, I'm not so proud of. Anyway, what will you do usually after this? Maybe join for a new school? But in my case, this was not the scene. My father told me he can't afford to pay a new rent for the new school, and neither I have no brains in studies. Talking about my father, he tried settling up multiple businesses, but nothing really worked. Finally, he owned a power tool shop and also worked as a stockbroker. Back in 2011, people would call stockbroker in order to buy and sell their stocks. I am thankful that it does not have apps like how do we have these days. And so, due to this stockbroking thing, I had a very good internet connection. All right, let me make things simpler for you. I was a dropout having a good internet connection. Obviously, I used to spend most of the time in computer. Back then, there was no Instagram or PUBG how we have these days. We did had YouTube, but most of the time, it just keep to buffering. Blogging was a big thing back then. How many of you used to blog or still blog? Oh, very few hands. Anyway, I always had this curiosity to know every time I search something on the internet, how this entire website pop-ups, how this magic happens. Does anyone displays it? It is something like to all those 90s kids who can relate to it, what I'm trying to say. These days we have this small LED LCD screen, but back then we had those big TV screens. And we think that at least me, if you just pop inside the TV, we can be a part of that show. Funny, but it does not work like that. I began Googling on how a website does work, how we can create them, and etc. I came up to know on sites like Wix and Yola, wherein you can create website using a pre-designed template and using a drag and drop tool, like how we have Canva these days. I created some websites. As we are a hero of our own story, I ended up creating a website for myself. This was the website which I created that time. All this was happening in the year 2011. Do you remember anything else about this year? Let me give you a hint. Anna Hazare, Arvind Kejriwal. I'm talking about India Against Corruption movement. This year not only changed Indian politics, but also my life. Let me tell you more about it. 8th of June 2011, I decided to create a website for this movement. Within the same day, I ended up creating a website with a basic layout. The whole idea of the site was to keep up with the updated facts, highlights of the movement, and so on. Parallelly, my neighbors had subscribed to the newspaper. I used to wake up before them and get hands-on. That was the time when Times of India started publishing the email IDs of the editor. I used to note down all the email IDs, and later in the day, I used to email them saying, my age is 16, to fight against corruption, I have created website. This was the actual mail which was sent on 15th of June 2011 with not so good English, spelling mistake. In fact, my age is also wrong. I clearly remember the same day, around 4 or 5 o'clock, I got a call from a person named Mr. Bosco. He needed to do some changes in the website which I made. Unluckily, the same day, my dad told me that you are using system for too much time and you will not be using anymore. I said the same, Bosco, my father has to give me the permission. Can you please call him and get the permission? He was kind enough and he got the permission. Next day morning, as my daily ritual, I went to neighbor and took the newspaper. And guess what I saw? The advertisement. I'm just kidding. Myself on the page 2 of the Times of India newspaper, saying 15-year-old designs website against corruption. I shared this article with my parents. The reaction was, oh, nice. Well, we are not into that juppy vibe at the home. In fact, this article gave my father a confidence that at least I will do something in my life. Now, you must be thinking that I'm just talking about my father, not what about my mother? I lost my mother when I was 5 years old. My dad remarried it, but that marriage not went along, and me and my stepmother were not into a good vibe actually. In fact, it was always better that I used to spend in my dad's store. I used to sleep in my dad's store most of the time just to avoid some misunderstandings. So my father and I decided to, why don't I go to Bangalore and do a course on website development. After all, I won his confidence. I went to Bangalore. visited few centers, thinking that the course will cost me around 5,000 rupees, which was the budget given. But of course, it was around 50,000 rupees, which was the actual course rate that time. Guys, trust me, you are the luckiest. You have so much online resources these days, and in fact, you are in one of the best faculty. I asked the center, can they suggest me a course in the budget which I had? It was like going to a restaurant and asking about and seeing the price side of the menu and ordering the dish. The dish which was served to me was a DTP course. In DTP, they teach us Photoshop and CorelDRAW and stuff like that. I had no idea why I'm doing this, but it was like, aa gaya to kar leta hu. I finished the course, returned to Pondicherry. Okay, so now what? I never like to sit idle. I started investing myself on Facebook. I learned Facebook and Facebook pages. That time it was a big deal back in 2011. I used to send friend requests to random people on Facebook and used to market myself. Hey, I can design a website or else can help you with your Facebook page. And the cherry on the cake was the newspaper article, which gave a good boost to me. And it will impress the people whom I send a message. I wrote this, and in fact, I got few orders as well, all the way from Assam and Delhi. Those are my very first few clients. Me from a South Indian got a client from Assam and Delhi. I kept this doing for a while. And on May 2012, I got a call from Mr. Deepak Kumar, my first boss. Do remember his name. He is very important in my journey later. He was a co-founder of an IT company in Chennai. They asked me to join the company to manage their social media and also that I'll be learning website development. Like, how do we have internship these days? I grabbed this opportunity. What else do you need in life? I was getting paid for the passion as well as I was learning. And fortunately, the same time, my father's business as being a stockbroker changed into film distributor. And Chennai being the hub of Tamil movie industry, my entire family moved to Chennai. Within few months, I learned about coding, domain, hosting, and stuff like that. I wanted to book a domain for my company, so I named it as MJ Solution. MJ stands for Michael Jackson, not exactly, Mohit Jain, or my brother, Mayur Jain. And on 14th of Jan 2013, I made my first .com website live, purely built on HTML code. You remember me saying, I used to send friend requests to random people. I was still doing that. But this time, the twist was not to random people, but to the celebrities. I used to send friend requests to the contestants of reality shows. And in fact, I got few orders as well. Things were going fine. I had a job, was doing a freelancing work, and saved some money as well. Thanks to my girlfriend who taught me this habit. One fine day, I came across a video by Sandeep Maheshwari. In that video, he talks about his journey of creating a world record. Now, if you are with me and if you have understood me a bit, you must be thinking my next move. I wanted to create a world record. I did not have any fancy talents like pulling up a car using my tongue or breaking the bricks using my hands. All I had is to code little bit and market. And so on, after a lots of planning, strategizing, me along with few friends whom I met online. Literally, I wanted to create an attempt for a world record and I believed on few friends whom I met online. We attempted to create 36 websites in 12 hours, 51 minutes non-stop. And I was just 18. The journey to attempt this world record was not so easy. In fact, we created that 36 website for actual 36 clients. One of our very first client who encouraged us going forward was Dr. V. Ravi Ravichandran, father of Mr. Hari Ravichandran, the founder of a company which valued more than $3.5 billion. He was the first client for that 36 website. And the big day, 27th of August 2014. Our attempt was officially announced on the Limca Book of Records. And we did it. Later on, few other record books have announced our achievement as well. Do you think this is the end of my journey? No, not at all. I told you, I can't sit idle. I love to explore things, no matter what the outcome would be. During early 2015, I ended up creating something very different and out of the box. Hands up if you are a fan of Deepika Padukone. Okay, quite a few. Plus one. Okay, awesome. So I am a huge fan of Deepika Padukone. And I thought, why don't I create a website and gift her on a birthday? In fact, we share the same birth dates and I have a tattoo as well. Right. And even I got a written gift from Deepika. Let me tell you what was it. The website reached her. She was so appreciative that she did a PR story on the website which I gifted her. So nice of her. Guys, trust me. Nothing is impossible. By this time, I was covered by most of the newspaper. I started getting clients from all across the country. I was servicing them as a freelancer, and some of the tasks I used to get it down by outsourcing. Later on August 2015, I joined a startup in Kolkata as a chief marketing officer. I paused most of my freelancing work just to focus on the new job. The salary was much lesser than what I used to earn as a freelancer. But still, I chosen this job. You know why? Just because Kolkata being a new city, new culture, and also the startup vibe, which always gives me a push. I just saw an opportunity for myself to learn and grow more. Things were going fine. Got many good contacts with some good brands, government tourism, and etc. It was a 10 to 7 job. Post work, I was like totally idle. I had nothing to do, but I wanted to do something. They say khali dimag shaitan ka ghar, but in my case it was like khali dimag creativity ka ghar. Post work, I used to watch the web series and YouTubers. That was the time all this started. And I discovered there is a gap between all those YouTube and stuff. And I discovered like why don't I create a website? I ended up creating a website named OnPlay News. It was India's first news portal website on Indian YouTubers and web series. To my surprising, within 6 months, we were able to interview top YouTubers of the country. And I bet you know them all. Bhuvan Bam, Ashish Chanchlani, Harsh Beniwal, Prajakta Kohli, Amit Bhadana are the very few names whom we interviewed without having any prior contact. We not had any contact with them, but still we tried to manage. In fact, the logo of OnPlay News was launched by Technical Guruji here in Vadodara, Gujarat, by one of my co-founders, Bhuvan Jain. Unfortunately, OnPlay News we not made it. It has to close due to some difficulties. With a heavy heart, I had to say goodbye to OnPlay News. Again, I could not be idle. My passion towards digitalness wanted me to do more, pushed me to do more. I just not wanted to stop. I wanted to start another project. I just so I came up with a concept called as digital travel. The whole idea was few influencers along with me will travel the entire country cashless, experiencing all mode of transportation non-stop. This was way back in 2016. In fact, before demonetization. I pitched this idea to Paytm and MobiKwik founders to sponsor this concept, but things did not work really. I think that was too early for me to pitch the idea. I dropped this idea and never came back again. But I hope to do something like this very time soon. All this was happening when I was in Kolkata and till August 2018. I decided to move to Chennai and continue my freelancing work. Do you remember Mr. Deepak Kumar, my first boss? More than a boss, he was my mentor. He recently started his own company. He would call me to his company and let me do my own personal work. Do you know why? As freelancers, we have a horrible sleep time, no discipline, no punctuality, and of course, no networking. He made sure that I come into his office to focus on my personal work, that is for MJ Solutions, so that I can build network, discipline, professionalism, and so on. This is how lucky I was. And he often used to tell me, hire an employee who will indirectly push me to do more. I listened to his advice and hired my first employee, or rather, I call my first colleague. Guys, trust me, this works like a magic. If you are struggling to start your startup or a company, then the first thing you should do is to hire your first employee. This will not only help you in terms of work, but you will be pushed to do more so that you can pay their salaries. No pain, no gain. This is how we grow. And on April 2021, we opened a physical office of MJ Solutions. Today, along with my first colleague, I have 10 other colleagues whom I'm so proud of. In conclusion, that 15-year-old Mohit, who had nothing to lose, no fear, but just wanted to follow his passion towards internet by breaking all the archetype, is standing right before you. That Mohit, who was somewhere a part of audience of TEDxGCET in 2016, is one of the speaker of TEDxGCET 2022. How amazing is that? In some places, the steps are a bit shaky. OnPlay News had to close. Digital travel plan could not take off. But I always believe that it was just a stumble, not a fall. Most of us wait for right time, right people. But I don't believe there is such thing. Right time is the time when you start following your passion. Just start working. Right people will automatically follow you. Thank you. Thank you so much.